Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. If you don't know me, or if you're new here, I am Jordan. I am the mother of 4 tiny humans. This summer, I will be the mother of 5 tiny humans, which is actually why I have taken such a long break. I had to take about 2 weeks off because this pregnancy is just kicking my behind. If you want to know more about that, I am going to do an update on my TikTok and also on my YouTube shorts. It'll probably already be up when you're seeing this. So if you want an update, go check out my 14 weeks of being pregnant with my 5th child's update. Otherwise, we're gonna get into our video today. Like I said, if you're new here, I'm Jordan. I am a mother, and that's what I talk about on this channel. So if that's something you're interested in, then give me a thumbs up and subscribe. We would love to have you back every week. I try and put out new videos every Thursday. Like I said, I took a little break. Hopefully though, I can get back on my regular schedule. Today we're gonna kind of piggyback off of my last video, which was why I am a gentle parent. And I talked about some of the books that I have read and really liked in that video. So I want to share those books with you in case you are interested in becoming more of a gentle parent, so that you can read them and hopefully you like them. And if you have any book suggestions, please let me know in the comments. We always love reading new parenting books to try and just do our best, because that's all we're doing, right, is doing our best. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So this is the book that I talked about in my last video, the one that I started off with. This is Parenting with Love and Logic by Foster Cline and Jim Fay. And it doesn't have I got rid of the, what is that called? The sleeve. So that's why I have it open to this page, so that you can see it. But this is the book that I started out reading when I started to change my parenting. I love this book. We use a lot of what is in here. Not everything in it is gold. There are some things that I disagree with or don't, like tactics I don't use as a parent. And that's okay. You take what you need out of each of these and you leave the rest, right? That's the same with any type of parenting advice. I always suggest to you that you take what you need and leave whatever you don't need behind. One thing I really do like about this book though is that it starts out with the first part being like a lot of, I don't know if you've ever read a parenting book, a lot of it is stories from their clients or something about issues that they've had with their kids and how they recommended they do it. And then the second half of it, it goes over, I don't know if you'll be able to see this, it's probably backwards, but it goes over, it has like bedtime, and then there's like a chapter on specifically bedtime and chores and friends, all these things. So if you need to revert back to it after you've read it, it's got really easy things that it's really easy to revert back and just see, oh, I'm having a problem with temper tantrums. What does Love and Logic say to do about it? And so then you can just go read those couple pages and have a little bit of a refresher on that specific instance. I will say though that if I were to recommend a parenting book to somebody to start who wanted to start gentle parenting, this would not be the first book I would have you read. Because in all honesty, when I read this book the first time, I don't think I was entirely prepared to start gentle parenting. I didn't have a good idea of what it was or what I was doing, and I kind of distorted what I had read a little bit. But as I have come to learn more about gentle parenting and reread this book, I've been able to apply what it says in more of a gentle parenting realm, and really probably the way that it was intended to be used rather than the way I was using it before. If I were to recommend a book to start with, I really like the book The Whole Brain Child. Mine is obviously well loved. It took a little bit of it had an accident during our move last year. And I know that there are people who are like, oh, the whole right brain, left brain stuff has been debunked, so that book is no good. The book is still good. I promise. It is not just about right brain, left brain stuff. It is about your child's whole brain and when it develops, and it really puts that into perspective. For me, it was really eye-opening for me to understand what parts of the brain did what and when that develops in your child, so that I can't expect my child to do something that their brain is not prepared to do, if that makes sense. I think that this is really, I think that this is a really good book. As far as parenting goes, and as far as understanding your child's brain. I definitely think that that is where I would recommend that everybody start. The next book I recommend you read as a gentle parent is not a gentle parenting book at all. And I can't find mine, so I'll have to put a little picture of it right here. And I will also link all of these books down below so you can easily find them and their authors and everything that you need, just in case I forget to mention somebody. So we read The 5 Languages of Love for our marriage, for me and my husband, to obviously improve our marriage. And then when we were going through the first couple, when we were thinking about gentle parenting for the first time, one of the things that, came to our attention was that our children also have love languages, which makes total sense when you think about it, but it wasn't something that had entered our brain even when we had read the book the first time. They also do have a 5 love languages of children, which I can recommend for you. That one I borrowed from somebody, so I don't have it at all. So I'll put both of them up here. But we then decided to figure out our kids' love languages. And while that is not necessarily a gentle parenting move, it has done wonders for our parenting, because knowing how your kids feel love and knowing how to show them love and everything for them and their specific needs has just been a game changer. So that's another place that I definitely recommend you start, is figuring out your kids' love language and showing them love the way that they feel it best. The next book that I definitely recommend you read, especially if you have small children, if you're starting with small children, I definitely recommend How to Talk So Little Kids Will Listen by Joanna Faber and Julie King. This is definitely, this is one of my favorites, especially for my younger kids. My 4-year-old, we have pulled this book back out and are trying to figure out how to get him to listen sometimes, because he's just turns his listening ears off all the time. But we have found this book to be very helpful, especially with our small children. And then this last one isn't necessarily, I definitely don't think that every parent needs this one. Maybe. But we got this one because we have a child who is extremely emotional, and he gets to be very explosive. So we got The Explosive Child by Ross W. Green, and this book is so good if you have a child who is explosive like I do. If you do take this book though, I'm going to give you a small warning. This is not a fix all your problems in a week type book. This is, like much of gentle parenting, this is the long game. If you're doing this book and you're following what it says, this is the long game. You're playing the long game. But it basically says that when your child has these explosive episodes, it's due to the fact that they have an unlearned skill that they need to learn. For instance, we have, so my 8-year-old is very explosive. He will have explosive episodes over things that seem to be very silly. For instance, we were having this problem with him taking a shower at night. He would get really upset about even taking a shower, and when we would get him to go take a shower, he would, instead of actually taking a shower, he would run his hair under the sink and just pretend he took a shower, which obviously my husband and I are not stupid. We knew that he was not taking a shower. So when we would address that situation, then he would just explode. He would go bananas and just get really upset that we were calling him out on not actually taking a shower. So because of what we have read in this book, we decided we would sit down with him and we would try to figure out what was going wrong. Why doesn't he want to take a shower? What is the matter? What is really going on? So we sat down with him. We asked him, what is the problem? Like, what do you need? Because we honestly didn't know at that point. We didn't even have any inklings of why it was such an issue for him. We didn't know if he needed more help in the shower. We didn't know what was going on. So we sat down with him. We asked him, what is it about taking a shower that really, really upsets you? And he told us that we were having him take the shower, because we were having him take his shower right before bed. So he would take his shower, put on his jammies, and go to bed. And he didn't care for that because he was tired. He wanted to go to bed at that point. He didn't want to take a shower. He just wanted to go to bed, which we understand that. That is a problem that we could fix. So then we gave him 2 other options of when he could take a shower. He could take it right after dinner, or he could take it in the morning. He had decided then that he would start taking them right after dinner. And ever since he's done that, he's been able to take his shower without exploding. Another issue that we were having with my son was getting his chores done. So he would tell us that he was doing his chores. He would say, I'm all done. And he would go and do something else. And then we would later find out that he actually didn't do his chores at all. And when we would address that with him, he would explode. And he would be like, I thought I did them. You're calling me a liar. And we were really confused as to why he would get so angry with this. Because usually if he's called out, or I don't want to say called out, but usually if we address these kinds of issues, he's not so explosive, but he was getting really explosive about this, really defensive, and we knew he hadn't finished it, or we thought he knew he hadn't finished it. But when we sat down and addressed the situation with him and asked him what was going on, this time we actually kind of had an inkling of what might be going on, which was definitely, we had at the beginning of the year kind of revamped our chore chart system, and it doesn't seem to be working for any of my children. But I was thinking that that was maybe the problem with him, and that was why he was getting so frustrated. So I asked him, I was like, do you think that our chore chart itself makes it so that it's hard to remember what your chores are, and it's hard to remember what you've done? And he was like, yes, I miss the chore charts that looked like this. And he explained it because he was having a hard time remembering what he needed to get done, which he has ADHD, so that makes complete sense that he needs more of that visual of getting things done. So we decided that we would then go and redo our chore chart system, which seems to be helping. If you guys want to see our chore chart system, our new one that we've created, let me know in the comments, and I'll share it with you next time. But like I said, this book is the long game. It highly recommends that you take one problem at a time, fix one problem at a time, so that you can actually fix the problems and then move forward with a different one, rather than half fixing several different problems. So like I said, it's a commitment to do things this way, but I feel like that's pretty normal within gentle parenting anyways. It's always the long game. So those are some of my favorite gentle parenting books. I will have them all linked below, as well as I forgot to mention, if you're not starting gentle parenting as a parent of a small child, if your kids are a little bit older, they do have different versions of the Love and Logic books for as your kids get older. I know for sure they have a teenage one, and I could be wrong, but I think they might even have a preteen one. I'll have to look. But I will link all of those down below so that you can easily find what you need. Like I said, if you have a gentle parenting book or a parenting book that you love that has really helped you, leave it in the comments so that I can find some new things to read and new material, because you know, as a parent, we need all the help we can get. Anyways, that's it for me today. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video or others like it, please give it a thumbs up and go ahead and subscribe to my channel so you can see my new videos every Thursday.